Hello, everyone. Today we're reviewing Madam Web, and joining me today to review this movie is Pirate Hunter author Jack Markham. How are you, sir?
I've been better. I used to not have the knowledge about what happens in this film in my mind, but now I do. I feel like I've kind of suffered a little bit of brain damage in the last 24 hours.
It do-
So
it does
thanks
feel,
very much.
yeah, it does feel that way. All this information from this film in your head kind of discombobulates you.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, is my brain glitching digesting this film into it, or is the film just that kind of messy and incoherent?
the war
But then
time,
I did deduce that it wasn't my brain that was like malfunctioning. It was actually the film itself. So
there were times in this movie where I was like, did I miss something, or is this actually what's happening? Like, there's times where it feels like there's parts missing. Um, so yeah, as always, we'll start off with our spoiler-free thoughts. So this movie is flawed in every aspect of filmmaking. um, it feels like no one wanted to make this. The writing is very sloppy. The direction and editing is very bad. The actors don't look like they don't give a damn about anything that's happening. Yeah, it's not a good movie. What about you, Jack?
um, my biggest problem is that none of them are even that likable, man.
Yes.
If I'm being honest, I was trying to get to like Dakota Johnson's character, Cassandra Webb, her name is in this, right?
Yeah.
Or Madam Webb, even though she's never called Madam Webb throughout the whole film.
Mm.
I tried to get to like her, and I tried to get to like, the three like teenage girls and stuff and all the characters, but they're so rude and snippy with each other that I was like, I wouldn't spend time with
No.
these people, you
No.
know?
Yeah. There's
So
just
immediately that turned me off the whole thing because I was like, um,
there's just nothing to latch onto really, and
yeah, no, I like there was,
they're barely
I wish
characters
there
to
was
be
something I
honest.
could,
You know what I
well,
mean? Like they have
yeah, I
like
mean, I think I looked this up and like, I think this film was written by by a team of five or six people.
oh
So
wow,
maybe they all had like
Conf-
input into the actual fucking script and shit, and that's why it's so messy. Because there's no way,
yeah. There's
like you said it to me before, it's like it doesn't feel like a film that's written by one human being.
no. This
And I
feels
agree with
like
you. I think it's like,
yeah. This
mm,
feels like an AI generated movie to be honest.
yeah,
you know what I mean? It just got it's no one sounds like a human being in this movie, and we'll get more into that in a second. So yeah, with our spoiler free thoughts out of the way, I would not recommend this unless you're with a group of friends highly intoxicated. Apart from that, I would skip this for sure. Jack,
yeah.
is there any reason why you
Um,
would recommend this to anybody?
well, there was one good thing about like there was a scene in it, and a Britney Spears song was playing in the film, and I was like, Britney's cool. But you could just listen to that song and not watch this film, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
not it's not worth putting this film on just to hear "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
yeah, I know exactly. I
There,
was like, oh, I like that song. Cool. I haven't heard that one in a while.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like, oh no, it's just still a shit film.
So there's
Yeah.
a famous line of dialogue that was removed from this movie. Do you know about this?
Oh God, like considering the dialogue that they left in it, what the hell was? How
Right.
bad was it?
So
What was it?
there was
You
dialogue.
mentioned this actually, yeah.
Yeah, there was dialogue in the trailer that was ridiculed by people so badly that they actually removed it for the film. I have it here if you would like to hear it.
Go on, yeah.
Right. So this bit of dialogue was in the trailer, and then it got removed because of so much uh, poor feedback. We'll say. Right. So the dialogue is. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders just before she died. That is the line of dialogue that was removed from the movie. Jack, what are your thoughts on that?
She was in Amazon with my mom. looking for spiders before she died.
Yeah.
I
What?
mean, like that fits in this film though. I mean, maybe that was one of the ones where they were like, "Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll put that in the trailer." And then it got loads of ridicule, and we were like, "Oh shit!" The whole rest of the film is kind of like that. It just kind of
It's
they like to
such.
spit information at you
Yeah.
when they're talking.
It's so clunkily written. Like it's just such bad dialogue, and we'll get into more examples in the spoiler section of terrible dialogue.
Can I just highlight an example real quick that baffled me?
Go for it. We're going into spoilers, people. We're going
Um,
into spoiler
okay,
territory.
so Dakota Johnson's yeah, yeah, sure, but this is only like a mild spoiler.
Yeah.
But you know the scene where Dakota Johnson goes to the baby shower of what we have to assume is Peter Parker's mother
Yeah.
when she's pregnant with Peter Parker, and the whole gang of girls are in the room and they're playing games and stuff, and Dakota goes, "Oh no, I never knew my mother. She died in childbirth." I mean, and then the whole room goes silent, and he goes, "Well, it's not totally common, but
Yeah.
does happen." Like, and I was like, "You're saying this to a pregnant woman?
Yes. That whole
Why would you mention that at a
that,
baby shower?" And
that
she just the whole scene is like that. It's just all this awkwardness.
that's a
Who
very
invited her?
that's a very bizarre scene that we'll
It's so weird, man. It just broke me when I was looking at it. I was like, you don't talk about death and childbirth when you're at a baby shower.
yes. That
Make the
scene,
whole day about you. That's what a narcissist does. I thought that was like very kind of
yeah, that's probably what she is.
narcissistic of her. It wasn't her party, so she
Yeah.
decided to make it her party. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I don't like people who do that.
We're going to get
Um,
more into that scene because I have a few things to say about that. But we'll start with the opening scene of the movie. So this entire
mm,
opening could be removed from the film and it would not change a thing. This entire section is pointless, and we get all this information again later on anyway. So Dakota Johnson's
you know what?
say that again.
I didn't notice that. You're right. They go through this information twice.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that. But now that you mention it, you're right. They do actually go back to this information.
yeah. Like
Um,
if you
yeah. Sorry.
removed
Sorry.
this,
Continue.
no, if you removed all this and just started with her in the ambulance, like there's no difference to the story. Um,
Um.
so
Yeah.
her mother is in the Amazon looking for this very special spider because she knows that her child has some rare disease that can't be cured. So out of desperation, she's heavily pregnant. She goes off to the Amazon looking for this magical bullshit spider, and our villain wants the spider for himself because no one cared about him or something, and he grew up with nothing. His dialogue is truly atrocious.
Man, honestly, I think all of his lines are ADR. Additional dialogue replacement. I don't think he actually speaks in this film. I think
I
everything is
would
done in post.
I would believe that it just has that.
Because
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because like it's now we never actually see his face saying the words. It's always like back shots or side shots or something. And his voice sounds like, do you know when you're on the phone to like a customer service line and it's a bit hazy or something? It's like I came to the Amazon. Like it's like
yeah,
background noise. His voice
yes,
doesn't match the rest of the I don't know, there's something very off about it.
yeah,
Um
yeah. It's like it's not being generated in that space.
yeah, exactly. It sounds like everyone else is talking in the area that they're shooting on, but
Yeah,
his
um,
voice is a pre-recording. That's yeah,
it
I
is
guess
very
whatever.
bizarre. Uh,
That's what I found anyway.
so yeah, remove this whole scene from the movie because it really adds nothing. Um, I also think he could have got the spider off her without shooting her, but he ends up shooting her. He's struggling with her to get the spider. She's desperately holding on to it because she needs it. It's also funny how she found it. It's like, oh, it's very hard to find, and then she finds it off screen, and she's like, oh, I found it, and just walks over
Yeah,
to him. Um,
yeah.
and he's struggling with her, and she won't let go of it because she needs it for her baby, and the gun goes off. And then the what do you call them, Las Arañas come along, and they save her by they put one of the little spiders on her and it bites her, and Madam Web is obviously that little baby, and this is how she gets her powers, although not fully unlocked yet. Uh, what do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you think of the
I mean,
design of these Elastoranias? You
I
you
mean,
being a
it's
character
dangerously
designer,
close to Spider-Man's costume, right?
yeah,
I mean,
and
because their skin is painted red and they have like metal barbed wire going around their body. And I'm like, it's a little bit Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, like that. It's kind of primitive savages, only primitive savages that are all dressed up like Spider-Man, you know?
yeah,
I'm like, it's a weird choice, man. I don't know if that's even in from the comics or where they got that idea from, but
hmm.
it's
I'm
just a
not
weird one.
sure. Yeah,
I'm not sure about it, like, because they're not even allowed to reference Spider-Man in this film. Like, they don't really reference him much
yeah.
at all,
So they dance
um,
around a few
apart
things.
from
So
this design.
I don't think they're allowed to say Peter's name, or they're not allowed to say Aunt May's name, May Parker. I'm not sure. There was some weird rights things, I believe, and that's why, like when you're watching the movie, it does seem a bit weird.
Oh yeah, the scene where the paramedic Ben Parker, who's like Cassandra's friend in this film.
Yeah.
The
Say that.
scene where, he says he met someone, right? And we know he's talking about Aunt May, right? Everyone knows it. But it's so awkward how they kind of dance around him saying that name. Because she's there guessing the name and he doesn't give it. And then she goes, "Oh, it must be serious then." I'm
Which is
like,
weird. Like, why is not saying her name mean it's serious? I don't get that at all.
I've been in relationships where I've met people and I've had to tell my friends about them, and yeah, you'd say their name, right? It's like,
I'd say the opposite is true, where if you say the name, it's more
why are you
serious.
keeping that a secret?
I thought when I watched this scene,
It's just
I thought it'd be funny if she goes, "What's her name?" and he goes, "Aunt May."
that'd be perfect.
Same with in that baby shower scene you're talking about, where she makes everyone guess what the name of the baby is, and she asked Dakota Johnson, and I just imagined her saying, "The Amazing Spider-Man."
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, so somehow Madam Web went
I
from
mean,
being,
I don't know if they would have gotten into trouble just for saying the name, because like I think in the baby shower scene when they're guessing, doesn't a balloon burst or something as
yeah.
she's saying Peter? So like she doesn't have to say Peter. But it's like your fucking movie is set in the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, but
So
I think
what's the
it's
deal with these rights
they
and
don't have,
legal shit? I just
yeah,
don't get it.
they,
It's so weird, man.
they don't have the rights to all the Spider-Man characters, I believe, so they can only use some.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think it's weird how it works. Yeah, it's like Marvel Studios didn't own
Yeah,
Spider-Man for a while there.
that's right. I mean, but this was 2024, so like, the MCU has had Spider-Man for a while, and the Spider-Verse films are still out there. So maybe this was just like, yeah, maybe like you said, it was a period in time where they didn't have the rights to say it.
I'm pretty sure that's the
But
case, but I'm not 100% certain. Right, so she goes from being a baby in the Amazon to being a paramedic, and we have no idea how she went from A to B, but that would have been an interesting story, I think, to learn how that all happened.
it
Because
would
we,
have been interesting. Also, I found it interesting how a small child in the hospital drew her a picture and she reacts to it like a vampire reacting to garlic. She's like, she's like, "Ugh, get that away from me." I'm like, love, the kid just drew a picture.
yeah,
What the fuck
do
is
you know
your
what?
problem?
She reminds me of like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons or something. Bah, get it away from me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so she saved.
I was like, why couldn't you just say, "Oh, thanks, kid, cheers"? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like
it's fucking so weird, man.
even someone who's socially awkward would know to just go, "Oh, thank you," and just leave it there. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
yeah, so she herself and Ben saved the boy's mother's life. So he drew her a picture to say thanks, and he hands it to her, and she just doesn't know what to do with it. And then when he walks away, she says to Ben, like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And he knows that she doesn't want to keep it, so he's like, "Just wait till he's gone and throw it away somewhere." Like, it's so
Yeah,
horrible. It's a fucking horrible scene.
I know it's so uncomfortable to watch because if I was in hospital with my kid, right, and he drew a picture for one of the nurses, and the nurse reacted like that, I'd be like, "What's your fucking problem? He just drew you a picture. Just take the picture. Like, you don't even have to like it. He's a small child. Honestly, if someone reacted to my kid that way, I'd get so mad at them. I don't
Yeah.
know how like the family are okay with this reaction.
I was expecting her to crumple it up and throw it and then spit on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a line from her later, just after the scene, where she says to Ben, like, we don't like family stuff or something like this. So, they're setting her up as a person who's just not good around people. She says she doesn't like family stuff, obviously because of all the drama with her mother and all that has affected her. But she's highly unlikable, but not even in a way that's well written. Like, you can write an unlikable character, but they're still well written. Um, Not this one.
Uh, yeah, I don't know why this was like maybe they were the vision was like, oh, we'll have her be sarcastic and kind of snippy and stuff, and that's her characteristic. But it just comes across like she's a real bitch, like for 90% of the film. Like when she meets these three girls in when they're in the taxi, she is so fucking rude to them that man, honest to God, I'm like, how has no one like smacked you at this point? Like you're just so rude to everyone that you meet.
Yeah.
Um,
Although I didn't
and
like
these
one of the girls because she flipped off an ambulance, which I thought was a real scummy thing to do. Who
what the
flips off
fuck?
an ambulance? And it was all her fault as well. Oh god, yeah. So it's awful. Do you
Yeah,
remember the girls' names? I can't remember any of them. I think I remember,
no, I mean, this Sydney Sweeney is one of them. Um,
but that's not her name in this.
and it's yeah, I mean, like she's Sydney Sweeney Spider Chick, and then the other two Spider Chicks, and I don't know. They like the thing is they don't say their name, but they also don't say Madam Web,
Yeah.
or they don't give Ezekiel Sims villain a name. Like it's just kind of lazy, you know. Like Ezekiel has this. Remember this? Like he has this dream sequence where the three spider chicks, the spider girls, whatever, are come into his apartment and like throw him out the window and kill him.
Yeah.
And that's like the only time we see them in costume.
We see them
You know?
again at the very end briefly. There's a picture of it there on screen, and
Oh, sorry. Yeah, at the very end when
but you
Madam
know,
Web is having a
do you know what's
vision, you
do you
see
know
it
what's
again. But it's like,
Do you know what's weird about that though? It looks like the exact same shot from them looking at him falling out the window. It looks reused, only they changed the background. It's very bizarre. Um,
uh, I don't know. Yeah, when I saw this vision thing, I was like, okay, cool. Those three girls are gonna get powers and costumes, and this is gonna be like loads of fun to watch. But they just don't. You know.
no, they dance around some stuff
Mm.
that looks like it would have been a lot more fun to watch, but it's
I
just
know, and the
brief.
costumes actually look pretty cool. Like they looked pretty. They look cool. Like yeah, like I would have enjoyed to see more of it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that would have been cool to see more of that. But so yeah, Madame Web gets into an
mm,
accident that unlocks her powers. She's not all that fussed about her near death experience, but however, um, and she doesn't even thank Ben. So like Ben, like clearly dived down there to save her life, and she's just very nonchalant about everything and not very grateful. But anyway, this unlocks her bullshit vision powers, and yeah, this is the beginning of Madam Web. She is unlocking her true potential, so that's cool. So yeah, this the villain Ezekiel is having visions of these girls killing him in the future, and he goes about getting his hands on this technology, this cutting edge technology that will help him find anybody. Oh, it's worth
mm,
saying as well that this movie is set in the early 2000s, like 2000 to 2002 or something like that. Um,
yeah.
how he gets his hands on this information is absolutely nonsense. Like he brings a woman back to his place, and I don't know, she has all her credentials on her and stuff, and but also right, so she gets her password because he starts to poison her, and he said that he will let her live if she gives him the password, which is absolute bullshit because why would he let her live? So if I was her, I would have lied, and if she did lie and then he killed her, like he's fucked. So I mean, he should have maybe made sure first. And then
Yeah.
he's using the password as someone who's been missing, so that would be a bit of a red flag. She like, what happens when she just doesn't show up to work and he's used her password? I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but it all seems
And
very
also,
strange to me.
um, when she was saying the password as she was dying, it was one of these weird passwords where it's like 5 or 6 random letters and numbers. And when she died, I was like, I've already forgotten it. So,
Yeah, he
um,
I
so
was
much
thinking,
for asking for it again because it's like Y6BK934X or some shit. And I was like, oh, right, you've said it, but I'm after forgetting it. So I wasn't paying
yeah,
attention.
I was hoping to be something like Noob Slayer 2000 or something like that. That's her
Yeah.
password. Some cringe gamer tag.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah, but he doesn't write it
Um,
down. He just tries to remember it, and then she dies. So if she was lying, he wouldn't have got his hands on any of this. So Ezekiel's not a smart boy. Um, and again, the dialogue here is just it's just terrible. Like every line from his mouth is just these characters are constantly talking to the audience. They're talking to us constantly. They're not letting us draw anything from what they're saying or how they're acting. They're just telling us everything, and it's not very satisfying to watch. So
yeah, it's like
aspiring
when he
writers
like
don't do any of that. Go for it.
yeah, what you know when he sleeps with that woman, right? When he brings her back to the apartment and they're talking after he has the premonition,
Mm.
he basically just says his whole thing. He just gives the whole exposition on what he's at and what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like, I had the vision that these 3 faces were trying to kill me, so I'm going to kill them before
Yeah.
they kill me. We're like, okay, Ezekiel, that's you done now for the film. That's like the only line we need from you. Do you know? Maybe we could have. Okay, look, I'm not going to teach anyone how to write their film, but if I was to write this one, I'd like maybe have him find them so he can at least talk to them first and figure out why they want to fucking kill him.
Yes.
'Cause it's
Yes. Like,
like what?
wouldn't it be worth
What's
having
the
that
deal with this
conversation?
premonition thing? It's like, and also, it's a dream. So weird shit happens in dreams. Like, do you ever like fucking get killed in a car crash in your dream? You don't go looking for the driver, you know?
I don't know. Maybe he has this
It's a
vision while
fucking
he's
dream.
awake as well. I don't know. There's there's lots of stuff in this movie where they don't explain how any of it works. Like it's all essentially magic. It's just magic bullshit powers that
Mm.
everyone has. Like he can himself and Madam Web can communicate in one scene, and like it doesn't explain how any of that works. But however,
Yeah. Did you find, I don't know if you found this right, but do you know the bit where she's on the train in the subway
mm,
and she has a premonition of these 3 girls getting killed by Ezekiel and she goes and prevents it from happening and that's how she meets the 3 of them. Did you find a little bit of a Final Destination in that?
I did. Yes, I got vibes like that
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. It was very
Yeah,
tedious to watch
it
as
felt
well.
like
Yeah, go.
Final Destination, only the flash forward or whatever it is, the premonition kept repeating itself. So we saw the same vision like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that,
it
but
was getting very
their
tedious to
reuse
be
of
honest.
footage, it was a weird one, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's a few things to say about that scene in a second. So Madam Web doesn't think she can change the future because the man driving the ambulance died. And I don't know how she comes to this conclusion because if she stood in front of the vehicle for like 5 to 10 seconds, he survives. You know what I mean? Like there's lots she could have done. If she just stood in front, because she's like, no, let me drive and all this, because she has a premonition of the crash. Just stand in front of his vehicle for like 5 to 10 seconds, count to 10, and then move out of his way, and everything's fine. Like I don't know why she concluded that she can't change what happens.
Also, she knew what was happening, right? And your man was getting in the ambulance to drive away in it, and he's not that adamant about driving. He's just like, no, no, don't worry, I got this. And
Yeah.
she does nothing to convince him. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't go, here, no, don't get in that fucking car. Don't drive the ambulance. You're going to crash and you're going to die. I've had a premonition. I've had a vision.
Yeah.
Like, even that alone, if someone said I've had a vision of you crashing this thing, that would sway me to not drive it. You know, she doesn't actually, she doesn't actually try to stop it at all.
No. Just jump on his back for 5 seconds so he can't move. I mean, like, there's lots of things she could have done. Um,
Like, take the keys out of the fucking thing. Like, he's walking pretty slowly towards it, talking to her the whole time. So, if I was her, I'd just grab the keys. I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Yeah. No, there.
Yeah.
It feels like there was lots of things she could have done. Also, did you find this as well? That the crash itself, it doesn't look like it would have killed him. It's like it's a pretty tame crash from the side, and then for some reason he's bleeding out of his chest. I thought the whole thing was presented very weird. I'm like, I'm pretty
Uh,
sure I would have survived that.
yeah, I mean, the truck like smashed into it very slowly, which which
Yeah, I mean maybe
is definitely
injured.
fine. I think you're right. I don't think that it was massively damaged. I mean, it's definitely a crash that you might injure yourself in, but it didn't. You're right. It didn't look that fatal. It looked like he could walk away from that one.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You know, actually, Madam Web actually does save one person now in this film, and that's the pigeon
I
that
was
flew
just
in the
gonna get to
window.
that, yeah, because pigeons are people too. Yeah,
I
so
know. I think that's like the one good thing she does.
yeah, but the whole scene is very weird because
I mean,
she has a vision of the pigeon flying into her closed window and killing itself. And then she goes over to the window and she opens it and she says to the audience, us, she says, it's not going to change anything. And then the pigeon flies in through the open window, it survives. And then she says to us again, it did survive after all. Like, stop talking to us. We can see what's happening. It's so badly written. So, what did you think of that
yeah,
scene?
you know what? If you have this pigeon scene, you actually don't need the scene with the ambulance, really, because the scene with the ambulance does nothing. She doesn't like vow never to let anyone die ever again. You know, um, it
I
does nothing. So it's like the pigeon survives, and she's like, "Oh wow, look what I can do." That could be that moment of realization. It's like I can save lives.
well, I
You actually
think
don't need the whole ambulance scene at all, really.
yeah, what they're going for here is that the whole ambulance scene is to make her think that she can't save people, she can't change the future, and then she learns that she can. But yeah, there's no need for it really, as you say. But yeah, she saves this pigeon, and I don't know why she didn't think it wouldn't work. Like she knows it flies right into the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Um.
so anyway. Ezekiel finds these girls at the train station, and again we get another bizarre scene. It's actually strange here because he shows up to kill them, but he's not wearing his mask or suit or anything, and then he goes change into a suit and continues his pursuit when they escape. I thought that was very weird.
Oh, actually, that's an interesting point. Yeah, because when she had the premonition, it's just him without the costume. Um.
Yeah, he shows up that way initially.
Yeah, but if that were me, I would just think that's Spider-Man. Like his suit is like so close to being Miles Morales' Spider-Man suit.
Mm.
It's just a kind of dark horror twisted version of it. That I'd be like, why is Spider-Man trying to murder these people?
Yeah. Well, obviously they don't know
He's
anything
like he
about
looks like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. The mask is identical.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously Spider-Man
Huh?
doesn't exist in this world yet. But we as the audience would be thinking, "Oh, look, he looks like Spider-Man."
I know, totally. I thought it was like an evil Spider-Man when I saw the trailer for this back back when it
Yeah.
was
Well,
coming
I
out. You
guess
know,
he
it's like,
essentially
oh, so
is.
Spider-Man's the villain. It's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Ezekiel finds the girls, but Madam Web shows up to save them, and then the police conclude that it's a kidnapping because one of the kids shouts a line saying, "Oh, she's kidnapping us." Even though she's standing there shouting it, where she could easily just run away in the opposite direction, but she doesn't. But this is bizarre because she escapes and they're in the taxi, and she's like, "Oh, I can't let you just go because you guys are the only one who can corroborate my story and clear my name. And then I'm thinking, well, why not just go to the police right now then? Because they can clear your name. There's,
Ah,
you know what I mean? Because she's saying,
yes.
I,
See, but then we wouldn't have the forest scene where they all get to know each other so well.
oh, that
Oh,
great
man.
scene. Yeah.
I don't mean to be sarcastic, but it's like you raised such a good point there. It's like everything that happens subsequent to that is kind of,
Yeah. It's like,
she just did a little bit of critical thinking in that moment,
it's like I need to stay on the run because for one, there's a maniac after me, and also because the police are after me. But I need to keep you here so that the police can go to the police and clear my name. Like it's so bizarre. Like going to the police right now is the best option, and then the movie ends, and that's it because that's what she absolutely should do. The girls
but
can.
well,
The
but
girls.
instead, what
Yeah.
she does is she drives them out into the middle of fucking nowhere
Which is suspicious.
and leaves them in a forest to die. You know, just leaves them in a fucking forest. Says, "I'll be back in 3 hours." I'm like, you literally just did commit a kidnapping there, and you're hiding them. I mean, I guess that the reason is that they're all in agreement of that this guy is hunting them down, trying to kill them, right? But like you said, they could have just went to the police. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
The police can protect them better than she can.
better than no protection. She leaves them in the woods completely defenseless
Yeah, she's highly irresponsible.
with no food or anything. It's like, yeah, she's just not that bright.
No, there's
Um,
another example of her being highly irresponsible when she brings them to Ben and his pregnant sister while there's a maniac after them. What are you thinking? Like, what the hell are you actually thinking? Um,
yeah. They go to a diner then, don't they? When Madam Web runs off and abandons them,
yeah,
and
so she's off to. Someone mentions that your man was crawling like a spider. Um, in a very again a scene full of very strange dialogue. It's like, oh, he can walk on walls. No, he wasn't walking, he was crawling like a spider. And then Madam Web thinks of her mother and her spider research, and she ends up finding a picture of Ezekiel with her mother in the Amazon before she died. and
And doesn't Sydney Sweeney drop the line where she says he's like some kind of spider person? I
yeah,
was
I
like, come
think
on,
so.
just say it. We all know it. Like, it's the most
Arachnamale.
famous superhero fucking in the history of comics. One of them, anyway.
They should have called them Arachnamale or something like
Top
that.
three. Just say it.
yeah. Um,
Oh, it's yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
so
she
mad.
knows that
Yeah.
Ezekiel has some connection to her mother, and I think that's the whole reason he showed up without his costume is so she could find that out. To be honest, because he only changes into his costume when they run away and escape him. So was he like hiding his costume in a trash can somewhere nearby? Um. So yeah, the
I don't know because he doesn't have webs. This
no, he,
Ezekiel guy. He's just basically Spider-Man, only he doesn't have webs. Instead of webs, he has premonitions, you know,
yeah, and he can
um,
stick to walls, and
or
he's
or
super.
dreams about the future.
Yeah, and he's super agile and he's quite durable. That durability ties into a flaw at the end, which I'll get to, because the way he dies, I believe he could have survived that considering what we've seen him survive throughout the movie, but we'll get to it. So the diner scene is, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's just pure cringe, to be honest. Jack, do you want to tackle this one?
Uh yeah, okay, right. I'll give it a stab. So they go into the diner, the three girls, after being abandoned in the woods to die. Um, and they're kind of being rude and bitchy with each other the whole time they're there. And there's a gang of boys in the corner of the room, and Sydney Sweeney's looking over, and she's kind of giggling at them and like flirting with her eyes and stuff. And the other girl's like, "Come on, we should go over and talk to them." So the two girls go over and start talking to them, and they leave one of them by themselves, I think. And then Sydney Sweeney and the other girl end up getting up on the table and dancing when "Toxic" by Britney Spears comes on.
Do you
And then
think
the
it's
third girl comes over to get them down, and they're like, "No, no, come on, come on, come up." And then the three of them are on the table dancing, and I'm like, you could. There's so many ways you could show that they're irresponsible teenagers. I don't think I've ever seen a gang of teenage girls behave like this in my life.
also like wouldn't the diner owner just kick them out? Like
Uh,
stop dancing on my
it
fucking
doesn't
table.
feel natural. It feels weird somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the owner of this diner? Where's the waiter saying, "Can you get down there, please?" Like
Yeah.
you're
And
like, come
because they
on,
were so
get
highly irresponsible and drawn attention to themselves, someone rings the police saying, "Oh, these are the kidnapped girl." This is also bizarre. Like, if he believes that they're kidnapped, uh, like from his perspective, like what the fuck is actually happening? But however, he calls the police, and Ezekiel uses that magical bullshit technology he has to cancel the police call, and he goes to the diner instead. Um,
mm.
but Madam Web has her premonitions, and then she shows up to save them. The timing of that is weird. Like from when she hears Toxic playing on the in the car radio, by the time she gets there, like I don't know if that time, from what I remember, I don't know if that lines up. But however, there's bigger problems to talk
Yeah, it's a
about.
weird one because Brittany comes on the radio and the two girls get up, and that's like part of the scene. It's not really part of a premonition.
Mm.
And then Madam Web gets there in the car, and then Toxic starts on the
Yeah,
radio. It's like, well, wait a minute, that just happened. That was all of that a premonition, or you know, I don't know.
it's
Yeah,
it's very
uh,
weirdly presented. So yeah, she saves them once again, and we get a scene where Ezekiel is poisoning Madam Web, and this is a setup for later on because, again, this is very strange. So, first of all, isn't it clever that they use toxic and he's poisoning people? Very, very smart. But anyway,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
oh, get
clever.
it,
That's very
get it.
clever. It's like, oh, how do
um,
we show that he's a toxic villain who shoots toxic webs? Oh, yeah, fucking so stupid. But go on.
so he's poisoning her, and this is a setup for later where Madam Web wants to teach them CPR in case they get poisoned. Um, I don't know, like, I'm no doctor, so if anyone is a doctor or has any medical knowledge, let me know in the comments. But if you're poisoned so badly that your heart stops, I don't think CPR is going to do you any good. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a setup for
Yeah, and there's a
her.
really awkward bit when they're doing this CPR thing on there. So, go on.
No, yeah, you go.
Well, when they were doing the CPR thing, right? Madam Web wants to high five one of the girls for doing a good job, and she goes, "I'm not high fiving you," and I'm like, "Oh, right, so that's your story arc, is it? By the end of the film, you'll like her enough to high five her."
Yeah, but then
Like, you know,
that's what I
that's
thought,
kind
but
of
I can't remember if she actually ever did.
no, neither do I. So that was kind of
It because it comes up twice about not high fiving, but I don't think it's paid off. But anyway,
mm.
so this whole
I don't
CPR
remember her
thing,
high fiving her, but look,
you know,
yeah,
this whole CPR thing is to like, it's to get a scene where she's teaching the girls things and being a sort of mother figure to them in a very thin and shallow way. But that's what they're trying to achieve. Um, yeah, and we get that scene where Madam Web and Ezekiel talk to each other through some of the magical bullshit web powers that it's just never explained how any of it works. It's essentially just some sort of magic system, I guess, because it just comes across like that. And Ezekiel
let me
basically,
just Google something real quick. You didn't catch the name of the director, did you?
no,
Um, okay, because I can't help but feeling that there is good stuff here that they could do something with if they had, a competent director. I think because like the direction of this is all over the place.
yeah,
Like you have these three teenage girls, right? And you have Madam Web, who's like the mother figure, like you say, and you have them in the motel doing CPR. You could do some good stuff there, some good character building, but it
yeah,
just feels awkward and it feels mismanaged. And I can't help but think like if you gave this to James Gunn, right? If he was in charge of this project, it could have actually turned out better. Um, because there's definitely acting talent. It's just I don't know what the hell went wrong because the lines of dialogue are so weird. I don't know if you felt this, but it's like you're watching Do you remember? Do you remember Electra? How it's just
Yeah,
kind of so weird that you just kind of can't remember
yeah. I wonder if it's a case
much
of
about it
like
because it's just one of these odd flicks.
I wonder if it's a case of everyone on board knows that they're in a bit of a dud and they're just not putting effort in because they just kind of want to get it over and done with. I wonder if it's a case of something like that. But
Okay, S.J. Clarkson is the name of the woman who directed this.
right.
Um,
I don't
and
know
yeah,
her.
came out in 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ezekiel explains his motivation in this sort of weird communication vision that they have. Um, yeah, and then Madam
Mm.
Webb leaves the girls with Ben and his pregnant sister, which, as I said, is highly irresponsible considering there's a maniac after them. And Madam Webb heads off to the Amazon and conveniently finds the spider person from the start of the movie.
Yeah,
Who's
she kind of does a what is it? What was it? You know, when Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Rises, how he just travels halfway across the planet in like a split second.
yeah, yeah,
It's like I guess that they're trying to do
yeah. I mean,
a time jump here, right? Because like she just shows up in the Amazon,
yeah,
and I'm like, that was very choppy. That was a bit too quick. And also could have not have waited because the girls are still being hunted. Like, man, I'm not being funny, but if someone you care about is in danger, you're not gonna book a trip to the Amazon rainforest and fly
yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah. It's very strange.
Um,
But when she's here,
yeah, sorry, go on.
uh, the spider person from the start of the movie tells her the truth about her mother. He does some more magical, weird stuff, and she has this vision of her mother, and she sees the mother being told that your baby has this rare disease and there's no cure, and Madam Web finds out that the mother went to the Amazon to look for a cure because she didn't want to give up, and she said, "I'm never going to teach my kid to give up." The dialogue and acting in this is especially bad. It's
Okay,
like,
this
yeah, go for it.
is what you're talking about, the flashback where she's in the doctor's office with her mother and the mother gets that
Yes.
news, right?
Yeah.
So this in this scene, the mother clocks that she's there looking at her in this premonition, and the two of them hug each other. Now, this
Yes.
would have worked if the mother had that power, but as we
Mm.
know, the mother never had any powers. So this kind of, I think they were trying to replicate the whole Charles Xavier thing from Days of Future Past.
Mm.
It doesn't work. Um, it
I was
it
so
doesn't it doesn't
confused
make
by
a lick
that.
of sense.
I was so confused by that. I thought that was she just imagining her mother
Mm.
react like that as a way of making herself feel better, because she was like, "Oh, I thought I spent my life hating you. I thought you didn't care about me, but you actually did all of this for me." And
My favorite line of dialogue in the whole film that just stopped me dead though was when the mother is at the web and the baby's in her tummy and she goes, "Oh, she's trying to stop me from working, but I'm not going to let her." And Madam Web, as an adult, is looking at her saying this, going, "Why did you hate me so
yeah,
much?" And I'm like,
yeah,
"That's a bit of a fucking overreaction."
yes,
She's just saying, she's talking about her baby kicking her.
yeah. If anything, that bit of
Should have
dialogue
been,
could have been
fuck's sake.
seen as a bit playful or something. Like, oh, she's getting in my way. This scamp.
And also, what gave her the idea that she hated her so much?
I think it's
You
this
know,
whole
because
idea of like she was heavily pregnant and went off to the Amazon. Like she resented her for that because she thought it was unsafe. But like I don't think the mother could have predicted she would have gotten shot. I don't know. It's all very weird. Yeah, I don't know. But she
yeah, and I'm
finds
pretty
out.
sure you can go on holidays when you're pregnant. Like you just have
Yeah,
the baby in whatever country you're in.
yeah. But
Um,
but you're right. I think that was a big overreaction to that line. Like when I heard it,
it
I
was
thought,
just
oh,
so
she's
out
just
of
being
left
playful or
field,
something.
man. Yeah, I didn't know what prompted her to say that. She just lashed out at this at this flashback of her mother in that way, and I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, that is so funny because it's so random and it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah. And her delivery, I was like, why did you hate me so much? Um, the line that got me was around here as well, where
Yeah, it's
um,
like she
she
died
says, she
the day you
says,
were born. You didn't know her.
yeah,
Anyway, go on.
she says that she says to her mother, something like the spider venom did have a cure after all. Something along. It's like real. Resident Evil 1, the voice acting and dialogue in that. It's sort of touching on those levels.
Yeah. What do you mean though?
In terms of how the dialogue is written and presented and acted. It
Or do
just
you mean
the Resident Evil video game, the very first
in the
one,
game or in the film
the game.
Resident Evil? Oh right, the game, right. I was thinking of the Mia Jovovich. I was
No,
thinking of
no,
those
no, no. I
films.
was talking about the video game. It's like, take this, Jill. You are the master of unlocking things. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
um, then there's a bit of dialogue I really, really hated where the spider person says to her, "Oh, I hated this line," but he says, "When you take on the responsibility, great power will come." And I'm like, piss off, man. Piss off. I'm looking at my Spider-Man statue right beside me, and
Oh man, like
even my statue is cringing at that.
I know, like it's. I was looking at it going, so this guy is the Uncle Ben character, is he? And also, if he is, what's his name? Because all we know about this man was that he was there the day she was born.
Mm.
Who is he? Like, he's not given a name, and this is the problem with this film, right? Because they actually forget to name their characters, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, but I thought that was just a hideous
like I said,
take.
the three Spider women that Madam Web is, say what?
I just think that
You just
line
cut
is
out there.
just a hideous version of the classic Spider-Man line.
Yeah, it's a bastardized version. It's a bit like in Andrew Garfield's film where they didn't want to copy it, so they made up their own kind of version, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah,
This one is just so stupid. It just
yeah.
doesn't make any sense at all.
But go on anyway. What were you saying?
I was saying, yeah, I mean, like I could probably, you know, get behind this guy a little bit more if I knew who he was. Uh, like I was saying, like the only thing we know about him is that he was there when she was born, and he knows the Aranyas people, and I was like, okay, uh, but who is he? I don't know who the fuck he is. Like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. It's like we don't know anything about any of the characters in this. They're just husks, really. And I'm not saying that to be cruel or anything, but they're just not very well developed.
yeah, I went in with an open mind, man, and I tried to get to know the characters, but
Yeah, I mean, I went in giving
it's
it.
all very kind of, I don't know, it's just the delivery, all the deliveries are so weird that it's like, I don't know. There
Yeah,
was a lot that took me out of it, you could say. Yeah.
yeah, same. I was watching this hoping that it would surprise me in some way, like, oh, like that scene was pretty well done, or this bit of dialogue was good. But honestly, there's just I can hardly think of any positives about this movie, apart from maybe that some of the shots are in focus. That's pretty neat.
And they used the Britney Spears song,
Yeah, although it's not the best Britney
don't
song.
forget. It's the
um,
it's the highlight of the film, just hearing that song.
yeah.
No, well,
Uh,
look, okay, I'll defend it for a second. The bit where she falls into the water early on in the film and she goes into cardiac arrest and she has this big visiony thing. I
mm,
thought some of the special effects in that were pretty creative. Um,
mm.
but yeah, I
Actually,
mean,
I have one. There's a bit that actually genuinely made me laugh, where she tries to test out if she can walk up walls. I actually laughed at that bit, and she just slides down the wall, and she's just crumpled in a heap. And she says to her cat,
yeah,
like, "Let's never talk about that," or something. I thought that was pretty funny. I giggled.
I did too, and it was a nice shot because like the camera was like on the roof and it was looking at her fall to the ground.
Yeah,
Like that is pretty funny. Yeah.
there is. Actually, speaking of camera shots, there are some shots in this where I'm like, why exactly are you using that shot? Like, because, where the camera's positioned and how it moves usually portrays some sort of information, but there's times where it feels like they're just doing something for the sake of doing something and it doesn't really add anything meaningful to the presentation. But, right,
Like
let's,
for an example,
yeah.
like when,
Oh, look, there's just so
yeah,
many examples of like, oh, the camera's up here looking down. I'm like, oh, okay, why? Why is it doing that in this particular scene? Or the way the editing choices are a bit weird. It's just very choppy and sloppy. Um, and I just don't think they add anything of substance. But we are going to talk about the finale of this movie. So
okay,
we have Ben, his pregnant sister, the girls, Before I just want to say this as well. Before Ben started driving, because his pregnant sister's going into labor, so he has to drive. He's
Hmm.
like, "Okay, put on your seatbelts," and she gives out to him for saying that. I'm like, "No, you should absolutely put on your seatbelt. It's dangerous." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also he was just kind of, doing the old friendly reminder.
Yeah,
And also, she's currently in labor. She's after going into labor. So if anyone needs their seatbelts on,
yeah, yeah. But like,
I'm not being funny, but it's like, I know you're actively giving birth, but it's like you're the one who needs the belts. The
yeah,
rest of us can fucking, you
yeah,
know, like she needs to put her belt on before more than anyone else in the car, and
yeah.
she's the one giving them shit for it. I
They
found that
react
weird.
like, "Oh, Ben, isn't he a stickler for the rules?" And I'm, no, put on your seatbelt. That's what you should do.
Yeah,
Um,
and also this spider fella is like this Ezekiel lad is hunting them down. So there is a possibility that the car might get run off the road. Like that's
yes.
you know.
Although they don't know that at that time, but yeah, absolutely later on. It's
Hmm.
um, yeah. So he's in pursuit because his technology spotted one of their faces on the camera. So he goes to the location, and there's a bit where he gets hit. So Madam Web drives an ambulance off some sort of height and smacks him with the ambulance, and he survives this. And I'm like, that's more harsh than what happens to you at the end where you die. It's all very strange. Also, like, Madam Web isn't hurt from this either, which is very odd. But
Say that again. You cut out there. Madam Web does what?
she hits him with the ambulance. She drives off a height and smacks him with the ambulance.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, and she like plows through the side of a building.
Yeah, and
Like,
she's not hurt after this somehow. But also, that's more of an impact than what actually kills him at the end, which is very strange.
also, she's like driving this thing through midair, and there's a pregnant woman in the car directly beneath her. So I would say that's fairly freaking risky.
Yes, but you can always
This
put it.
is the moment in the film. Do you remember the Flash turned on that gas bottle and it like flew past the baby's head by like an inch? That's
Yeah,
this moment. Just
yeah.
totally reckless, totally risky. Could
The
have went
only
way worse.
The
Yeah.
only the only thing you could say, I guess, is that she has future vision powers, so she knew how it would pan out or something, which is pretty shit because you can use that as an excuse for anything that doesn't go quite, for anything that is presented strangely. You could say, oh well, she has her magic web vision powers, so she knew that would happen. I don't know. I think it's a lazy tool, but
Like this is kind of how I mean I hate to kind of just shit on the character, but like the character in this film, her main power is basically spider sense,
mm,
you know? And Tobey Maguire had that in a much better film and he had more powers. Um,
mm-hmm.
you know, so her whole thing is that she has spider sense. It's like that show That's So Raven. Like
Yeah,
that's who
that's who she is.
she is basically. It's like she could see the future for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, her character, to be honest, is just so fucking lame. Oh, she's so lame and boring. Oh man, okay, I'll be honest with you. I know I'm coming across as a bit sarcastic and a bit fucking negative in this video, but I really didn't enjoy this at all. Uh,
No, I think it
I
was.
wish I could defend it because I know that people did put hours and hours of work
Yeah,
into this
listen,
thing,
there's
but
always there's always some people who have put hard work into these things.
it's
Uh,
so painful. Like
so you feel
it's
bad for
a
them.
tough one.
You feel bad for them because a lot of people
Mm.
in this look like they just didn't care at all. I'm sure some of the people who worked on it, including maybe some of the actors, are pretty talented, but it just looks like no one's bothered, and it looks like no one wants to be here.
Yeah, I don't know how this thing even got greenlit. Like, I mean, because if you came to me with the studio heads or whatever and said, okay, right, I want to do a film about Madam Web, you get like 9 out of the 10 people in the room going, who the hell is that? Because she's not that popular
Yeah,
of a character. And the people who do know her from the Spider-Man animated series. So they'd probably cast an older woman to play her, not Dakota Johnson. Like, if I was in charge of this film, man, right? If I was one of the producers, I'd be like, okay, we've Sydney Sweeney as Spider Woman. And then everyone would be like, oh, yeah, okay, let's do it. I think
yeah.
she should have been the main character. I think Dakota Johnson's Madam Web is just so boring and so lame that it's like she's the wrong character to focus on in this. I think.
You think maybe she should have been like the mentor character in the background, and it's mainly focuses on the girls.
Yeah,
So
sure. Like have her already blind and already have the powers, and then have her come to Sydney Sweeney and show her how to be Spider Woman at the beginning of the film, and then there's your film. Like, I mean, man, that's it. That would be such a money maker as well, because like she has fans, and Spider Woman is a popular character. But like, it's like I don't know what the hell went wrong that this got made. I'm surprised it's made. I guess is I'm gonna fucking stop ranting now though because this one just upset me.
yeah, I mean, if the writing was really good and the
Oh,
direction and
sorry.
acting was
Sorry.
better, I mean, you never know. It could have been a surprise hit, even though the character's not madly well known, you know. But there's just no quality in here, you know. So the finale basically is
Yeah,
just your
let's talk
typical.
about the finale.
It's your typical sort of action Marvel sludge, you know. It's just nonsensical action with not much
I would also
substance.
say that
Say that one more time.
her premonition in her final battle with Ezekiel actually gets it wrong. Um, her premonition is wrong because like you know in her premonition when she's fighting Ezekiel, the letter S on the giant sign crushes him, right? But he actually doesn't get crushed by the letter S. He gets crushed by a different letter.
It's the letter P,
So
right?
yeah, he gets crushed by the P, and all the premonitions are telling it. It's just it's so weird, man. I'm like,
That is weird. It's also from a Pepsi sign, and you might notice, eagle eyed viewers might notice there's a lot of Pepsi in this movie. Did you pick up on that?
did I pick up on what? Sorry, you just cut out there briefly.
There's a lot of Pepsi in this movie, and the letter is from a Pepsi sign.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The product placement
Yeah.
ended up winning uh the film. Yeah.
Product placement can be hilarious when they do it in ways like this. I mean, oh, the whole Pepsi sign being tied into the finale. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, there was a shot where Ezekiel, when he's in Times Square, he like lands on top of a giant Calvin Klein sign.
Yeah.
And the Calvin Klein sign is like this ripped dude in his jocks. It's just so weird. He does a
So
superhero landing on top of this sign and it just looks very odd.
yeah, so during this scene as well, Ezekiel says to her, "You're like your mother," and I think this is the second time he said something like that to her, and I don't know why he says that to her. Like, what's the comparison? How is she like her mother exactly? It's very weird, and she gives the reply, "Yes, I am." It's all very generic hero villain speak. How many times have you heard a line like, "Oh, you're so much like them," or "We're not so
Mm.
different, you and I." Those type of lines where it's just generic villain talk.
Yeah, and also I kind of got the impression of Ezekiel in this fight that he was really holding back because, you know, he's more powerful and stronger than all of them. There's
There's
no
one,
question.
yeah. There's
They've
one
made that
scene
pretty
where
clear.
he punches her so hard in the stomach she flies across the the scenery, and I'm like, well, he could kill her. He could punch her so hard that she's dead. But she doesn't
Yeah,
even
like,
seem
and their
she
grand
doesn't
plan in
even
like stopping
seem
him is to
she doesn't even
go
seem
on.
phased by the punch at all. Like, I mean, that would knock the wind out of you at the very least, if not break ribs.
Yeah, and this is why I'm kind of like, what, how are these girls giving him so much trouble? Because he's clearly super strong and shit, and he has all these spider Amazon powers and stuff, and Madam Web has just figured out how spider sense works, and so like, how are they giving him this much bother? I don't know. I feel like if he was a killer, if he was actually actively trying to kill them, he
Yeah,
would just kill them.
and
They don't
also
seem like very formidable opponents, I guess, is what I'm trying
yeah,
to
and
get
also he
at.
is so determined to kill them. He goes to all this trouble. When he showed up at the diner, if he had just brought weapons, like if he just brought a gun into the place, well, that's it. It's game over. So like, why doesn't he? You
Yeah, or he could just ask them. It's like, right, okay, why do you want to kill me?
know?
Like, I mean, he could just track them down and talk to them. They're
Yeah.
just young teenage girls. They don't even have powers or anything yet. They haven't had a single.
Well, it,
origin story arc or nothing. They're still the same teenagers at the end of the film that they are at the start of the film.
here's the thing as well
Sorry.
is that Madam Web says to him, "You thought that they were your future, but it turns out I was," or something like that. That's a very confusing line. Like, what what is happening at this point?
You should have just said, "Here, bitch, please. I've had these powers my entire life. You just figured out how the fortune telling thing works." It's like she Madam Web hasn't even. Oh, sorry. Madam Web does one other power in this film, and it's in this finale. She clones herself like 3 times or some shit, and I don't know if she can do that in the
that
comics. I'm not
that
100
was
percent
very
sure, but
strange as well. I was a bit,
that was kind of weird, and it's kind of
yeah,
weird how she just unlocks this ability, and then Ezekiel just smacks her out of it. It's like,
yeah,
but you should have saw that coming. You can't just stand there and do your big power and not, you know, you
yeah,
still have to defeat him.
yeah. And I hate this thing villains do where like the hero's in a compromised position and they're just walking at them very slowly. Like, come on,
Mm,
man. Move with some sort of urgency. But yeah, he ends up getting crushed by a letter from the Pepsi sign in
mm.
in a scene that, again, it looks like he's taking more punishment than this, but this is what ends up killing him. It's very odd. And then but then we
Yeah.
get our CPR payoff. So Madam Web has been saved by the girl because she fell into the water. Wait, well, she falls into the water and then a firework goes off and hits her in the face, and that's how she loses her vision. Um, Now she's very. I don't know. I thought she was deep enough in the water that the firework would have lost its like momentum somewhat, a fair amount. You know.
Yeah, you think it would have, at least if you're like 2 foot underwater, a firework isn't gonna hit you.
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
Because fire goes out in water.
like I think as well. Like
So this whole thing doesn't make sense, but
I
okay.
think I've heard as
Go
well.
on
If
anyway.
you're like 3 or 4 feet deep in water, a bullet will basically not kill you. I heard. I'm not sure. I'm not certain about that. But yeah, the firework causes her to lose her eyesight. I was hoping it'd be something a bit more interesting than a firework going in her eye, but however, we get the payoff. So
And,
she,
and come here. Did Go
yeah,
on.
no, you go.
I just wanted to ask you, do you know how she became paralyzed? Because I didn't catch that.
No,
And
that was confusing as well.
she was in a wheelchair after this, and I was like, why are you in a wheelchair? I don't know, maybe I missed something there, but it's like,
Yeah.
if you ask me, Ezekiel won, you know? He won that fight for sure because she's now blind and in a wheelchair. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Jesus, he fucked her up, you know?
Yeah, it was confusing. I'm not sure.
Actually, no, I take it back. Ezekiel did fuck all because it was her own stupidity that fucked her up because it was her idea to light off all the fireworks.
Yes, she caused more harm than he did. Yeah,
Oh man.
it's hilarious. Yeah, so we get the CPR payoff. So earlier she had taught the girl CPR in that mother figure type scene that we had, and it ends up saving her life here. But she's blind and paralyzed, and that's how this battle ends. And then
I
she
just find it. I'm sorry. I just find it funny how she goes underwater. The girls perform CPR, and she comes out of it blind and paralyzed. It just doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's
It's
so
just so
ridiculous.
it's just so funny how it's all presented.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see her in hospital, and one of the girls is like, I think she said something like, "What's it like being blind?" And she says, "I can see better than I ever could before." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like, how are you adjusting to actually not seeing like like a human sees?" You know what I mean? There's just no like kind of scene where she's adjusting to it a little bit or whatever. Just everything seems fine considering her situation. But we
Well,
find out that little
yeah.
baby Peter Parker is born. Um, this is hilarious because
That's right. Yeah. Uh,
they're saying that, oh, Ben is enjoying being an uncle. He's like he he has all the fun but none of the responsibility. And then she kind of smirks and says, "That's what he thinks." And I'm like, "Oh my god, there's so much wrong with this." First of all, she's joking around about the fact that um, Peter's parents die and that Ben will eventually die, and she's like, "You know this is going to happen," and you're sort of smirking and making a bit of a
Yeah,
joke out of it. I'm
actually,
like,
yeah, she knows that he's gonna die.
she's like,
Um,
"Huh? That's what he thinks."
I don't know if they were like trying to play this as if like this was a prequel to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's, but like I did hear something when I was researching this film, uh,
In the Amazon
that this
before
is
you
its
died.
own. Say what?
In the Amazon before you died. It's not important. Go on.
No, I don't. But come here, I did hear something about this film
Yeah.
that it's its own universe. It's not part of a shared universe.
Yeah.
Which again doesn't make sense because it's like they set up all this Peter Parker stuff, like his mother giving birth and stuff, and Richard and Mary being away. Like I guess you could tie it to what's his name, Andrew Garfield's
Hmm.
or Toby's, but it's like, well, what's the point of all these lines to do with Peter if it's its own universe?
I think they're
You know?
just trying to be funny about it. I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah,
but that's how Madam Web concludes, and we get that final shot
I don't
of
know
them all
either,
in their
to
costume,
be honest
and
with you.
Madam Web wearing those weird glasses things. I don't know. She looks like
Mm.
Bret the Hitman Hart or something. I don't know, but it's very odd. That's how the movie ends, and then for some reason the Cranberries play, and that's it.
Oh God, yeah, that annoyed me as well because I actually really like that song as well, and
Mm,
it's out of place here. I
yeah.
think it doesn't belong. Uh,
So that's Madam Web. It fails in every aspect of filmmaking, and I would not recommend watching it at all.
I thought we'd have like more fun doing this, but I can't help but feel that this one just stressed me out to fucking relive it. If I'm being honest, there's just so much going on here that doesn't work, and I'm like, it's like solving a jigsaw puzzle and you only have like half the pieces,
Yes, yeah. There's
or
just
like
no.
solving it's like you're colorblind and you're trying to solve a Rubik's cube, trying to figure this film out. It's like it doesn't matter. It's fucking yeah. Um,
Yeah, so Madam Web, pretty bad. Uh, if you want early access and exclusive content, go check out the link in the description. And Mr. Jack Markham, where can these fine folks find you and your amazing work?
well, I promise my work isn't as bad as this because I
That's
I
true.
I don't think I'm even capable of writing something like Madam Web. But if you want to check out my graphic novel Pirate Hunter, you can find it on www.talesofcentiverse.com. The official page where I post updates is on Instagram at Tales of Centiverse. Triality, I pulled an all nighter last night because I couldn't really sleep, and it, Triality is it's shaping up well, man. I can't wait to show it to you. It's finally clicked with me that this story is actually it's impactful. Like before, I had my doubts about Triality, but Triality issue 1 is going to be coming soon. That I'm aiming for the end of March to have that whole thing finished and out. So that'll be my next release. Pirate Hunter Book 2 is coming out probably around between July and Christmas because it's way bigger. It's another graphic novel.
Awesome.
So that's me.
I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to them. And is it true that you were in the Amazon with your mother when she was researching spiders before she died when you wrote it?
Um, I was hired security for the researcher who was looking for a spider in the Amazon. That was my role.
Right, go check out the links in the description. We'll be back again soon, maybe, hopefully, with the Phantom. It would be good to do that
Yeah,
next if we can.
yeah.
No promises, but we're looking to do that soon.
Mm.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.
This message will self-destruct.